friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is JT and I make adventure videos. Right now I am sitting at Fort Worden Park in beautiful Port Townsend, Washington, just across the bay from my lovely island of Whidbey. Gonna meet up with my buddy Joseph and head into the Olympics. Trying to stay mostly lowland this time. As you might be able to see, it's raining today. No snow, too warm. So we're gonna hunt for some view spots that we have and just enjoy the beauty that is the Olympic Peninsula for the weekend. So I am going to hike around the fort for a while and then meet up with Joseph later today and take it from there. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you soon. Behind me is the Point Wilson Lighthouse, established in 1913. It's right here at the base of Fort Worden, which is also an early 1900s fort. There was a trio of forts here out on the Strait of Juan de Fuca, which comes in from the Pacific Ocean straight in. And then back there is Vancouver Island, Canada. And then this way is my home island, Whidbey Island. And there's another lighthouse at Fort Casey. So there's World War I era forts. And they basically defended the Puget Sound, which leads into Seattle. So this is the direct route. The Strait of Juan de Fuca comes in and basically enters, and it's the whole Puget Sound. I call it the Salish Sea, and it basically takes in all the islands, the San Juan Islands, Vancouver Island, all the way down to Seattle and beyond. So pretty cool. It's one of my favorite spots to come visit. All up in the hill behind me there is the fort. It's literally built into the mountain, or the hill I should say. Super cool. Love this place. It's got bike trails now. You can walk through the fort, and at night we've gone through, and it's definitely haunted. You can actually camp right next to one of the parts of the fort, which is right on the beach as well, and I'll probably head over there next and show you. Found a cool little map that shows kind of where we're at based on where I live, which is dope. So Strait of Juan de Fuca comes in, we are here. I live right about there. And then you have, so the strait comes in, you have all the San Juan Islands, Vancouver Island, all the Puget Sound and Salish Sea. So there you go. When I tell you this place is haunted, I'm not kidding. I have been here at night, and we've been exploring and absolutely heard steel doors completely slamming and shutting, people walking, all sorts of stuff. It's fun. But check this out. So I found an altar right at the beginning of the fort for some reason. Apparently somebody's doing some sort of mystical rituals. Check this out. So these doors slamming when you're in here in the middle of the night. A little disconcerting, but fun. Also, I don't know if you can even see me. This entire base has tunnels going through it that are barely wider than a human, that you can go through and explore. So here is where the guns came up out of. Pretty cool. They raised up when there was something to go after. And then little, that's all you can see. That's where the lookouts were. And then behind me, all up in there, there's actually like 95% of the fort is built into that. So this little battery right here is one of, I don't know how many, I'm not going to misquote, but the vast majority of the batteries were built into the hill there, which is super cool. You can go and explore. Actually, in my old videos, I think I've ridden my mountain bike through there. So yeah, awesome. We made it to camp, and although this is an epic view spot, P&W shit. We knew it'd be this way today, so no big deal. Only a slight breeze and mist, no downpours, probably in the high 40s. So, you know, if you're an overlander camper in the Pacific Northwest and you don't want to camp in this shit, you're not camping 6 months out of the year, or you're doing it very last minute when the weather clears up. So Joseph and I had a good lunch in Port Townsend. I had my morning hike and all that stuff, and then headed up the mountains, only 20 miles out of town. So a little short trip, and we are praying, crossing fingers, that when we wake up in the morning, some of this crap burns off and we have 200-degree views of water and beauty from here. Showing a little bit what I brought, since I'm essentially in winter mode. Put the tarp over my awning here. I use the Ignic little fire can with a regulator. I don't know, I drilled out the regulator so it cranks a little more. Local company. Love the form factor, love the weight. Sets up in literally a minute. Let's see what else we got here. These are my awning walls in case it gets real crappy. Got the H-Calorie diesel heater, last year's model. Bunch of sweatshirts. Dual batteries. I always bring dual batteries just in case. And haven't set the tent out yet because it's a little misty, so I'm gonna wait, get that set up later. I'll set up my tailgater table, pop the tent, get the diesel heater on, and probably head in and watch some movies and crank the heater later. Anyways, yeah, so it's not even 3 o'clock, but it's gonna be dark in 2 hours. So we're gonna enjoy the fire, have an adult beverage or 5, and some dinner, and catch up. This weekend's a really good kind of chill weekend. We both kind of needed to get out of the house, so I think it's gonna clear up tomorrow for us, and either way, we'll enjoy our company. I'll catch you later. Ten minutes later, I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating. That's how fast this sets up. It doesn't go down quite as fast, but when the weather is shit and it turns on you, it's nice to have this. So angling the tent walls into the wind, it just started picking up off the hill. That way is water as well, so it's coming in. I don't know if you can see the mist coming in, but it's probably a solid 5 miles an hour. It's not supposed to be super windy tonight. Should be fine. But it also helps to angle my rooftop tent, which I don't have up yet, into the wind. All of you know that. But in here, welcome to Shangri-La. No, we figured this out, I guess, 3 years ago, we were just looking back at memories from a Thanksgiving era trip where we were on top of a mountain in 8 degrees or so, and put the awning walls up, put the propane pit inside, and like turn it to 40 something degrees. It's not that.
November 13th, 2022.
November 13th. Is that today?
What is the date today? No, today is the 14th.
Today's the 14th. So
almost
3 years.
2 years, 3 years.
3 years exactly.
Jeez.
We discovered this with my awning walls, and it's been a game changer. So rain, mist, wind, snow, once you put the fire pit underneath, it raises the temperature greatly. So if you do have an awning and you plan on sleeping, or I mean not sleeping, camping in any sort of adverse conditions, the awning walls is absolutely worth it. Spend the money. And the propane fire pit, spend the money, because keeps you warm, keeps you nice and cozy when it's crappy outside. So anyways, we're gonna continue chilling, and I'll eventually set my tent up and have some dinner and all that good stuff. All right. Good morning. It was a little bit of a rough night's sleep. Went to sleep and we were essentially in a cloud, and then about 2 in the morning I woke up to the wind like trying to rip our awning off, and the tent walls were catching like a sail because the wind switched directions and came indirectly the opposite of how we had it set up. So that was fun. So I had to take down the awning and walls at 2 in the morning, and then yeah, diesel heater was a little hot, honestly, because it only dropped down to 48 degrees. Everything's dry though, pretty much. So woke up to a nice sunrise, and then the clouds have taken over. But today should be good. Look at this view though. This is why I like this spot, although we couldn't see it last night. Yeah, so we're headed into the town of Sequim, have some breakfast, and probably, I don't know, find somewhere to hike or something like that this morning. Maybe Dungeness Spit, and take the day from there. We have no other plans. All right, see you down there. We are just finishing up our hike at Dungeness Spit. We did not do the whole thing because when we got down there, we realized it's 5 miles each way in sand and rocks. So shout out to all you that can do that. My old ass can't yet. Working on it. Tired Joseph out too. Anyways, we're gonna finish this up and figure out where to camp for tonight. After a long, arduous trail drive, we made it to our spot. No, it was like we're like 30 feet from the parking lot where we were hiking. Decided to check the campground out. Joseph said, let's camp by the beach. We could hear the waves crash. And the campground was pretty much completely empty and beautiful. Minus all the dead stuff because it's dead season, November. But waves crashing, deer running around, birds chirping. We are at Dungeness Wildlife Refuge area. Probably said that before, but went on our hike and camping. Gonna chill out for the rest of the day and relax. This was a relaxing weekend, not a big trail weekend. I gotta be at the ferry at like 9 in the morning. So I think that's it. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. Talk to you later. All right, we've entered full chillax mode. And we're eating what do we call this? Lunch / dinner? What do they call that?
Slunch.
Oh, slunch. Joseph says slunch.
It's like
it could be leper. Whatever. It's like, 2:30. Also, newsflash, we're in a cloud again. And it's basically so, we're making the best of it. We've got quite a cool little setup here. We parked this way, not even on purpose, but the awning fits perfectly between the rigs. We got the little fire can ripped up. And I don't know. What's up, MTV? Welcome to my crib. Just kidding. But I do try to make it nice and cozy in here. Well, it's the next morning. I didn't film anything else really because we went to bed at like 6:30 and just lay down and enjoyed the diesel heater, the sound of the waves, watched some shows, relaxed. Joseph and I caught up on some much needed sleep. Sometimes it's not all about how much, how many miles you can put on, how many things you can explore. This weekend was a good example of just getting out with your friends and relaxing. Flying by the seat of our pants yesterday, we went on a hike in a beautiful spot and realized they had a campground with nobody in it next to the water and just said, hey, let's go. Let's just have a chill night, enjoy ourselves, and turned out to be perfect and what we both needed. So sorry if there wasn't enough, trail adventure and shots. But I figured I'd do a little gear action and kind of what works and what I've learned, and if you're wet weather camping, winter camping, some tips and tricks that might work. Also, here's kind of all the wall of gear. I have some up in the rafters as well. But the H-Calorie diesel heater, I really love the form fit of this. I know they changed it for this year to be a little more square. I'm sure it works fine as well. I kind of like the up and down version of it. like this, because it's kind of the size of like a Pelican or an Apache case. I wrap my hose around it, so it's literally a 2-minute setup and breakdown. The exhaust and power cord fits inside this case. Fantastic. Have all my stuff on the wall: compressor, walls, fire pit, batteries, Dometic, doodads, my ice co. So you know, all my chairs, sleeping bags, a couple extra tables, stuff like that live up there. Kind of want to show what I do when I get home from the wet. I am blessed with a nice high enough garage. I actually have an up and down winch system rack. I can put my kayak on or whatever. I can also take my tent off, store it up here. I have a full video on that on my channel. I leave the rack on, or the awning on the rack, and just kind of lay it out loosely. It lets all the water drain out. I run a heater underneath it, and then I lay my tent open just enough to where it hits the garage door opener, but it's enough to raise it significantly. If it was wetter, it wasn't that wet. I was able to dry 90% of it off, and inside was super dry because I had my diesel heater on all night. So I'm just gonna let the outside dry. The other thing I do when it is a little wetter is I actually run my diesel heater and I pump the hose inside of it, and then I'll put the hose outside of it, so you can get a direct heat. You're using the equipment you already have, etc. So anyways, hope those tips help you out a little bit. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos and want to see more, and join us for more. Appreciate you. Get out there and explore, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.